Welcome everyone to the Disneyland Hotel Diaries podcast.
Hey there.
If you're mapping out that magical escape to the happiest place on earth, you definitely know that where you crash each night. That can really shape your whole adventure.
Oh, absolutely. It sets the tone.
Exactly. So today, we're doing a special deep dive. We're looking at a specific and honestly often praised spot for your home base. The Quality Inn & Suites Maingate Anaheim.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission, really, for you, the listener, is to kind of pull back the curtain, help you figure out if this hotel is the right fit for your next Disney trip.
And we should say we've stayed here ourselves.
We have. And we've also dug through, tons of insights from other travels to bring you the real, the unfiltered scoop.
Yeah, and what's interesting is how consistent things are. Across all the feedback and our own stays, you really get a clear picture of what makes this particular Anaheim spot work for people.
Right.
We're seeing these patterns, value, comfort, convenience. It kind of goes beyond just one person's opinion. Gives us some solid insights.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. We're not just going to list off features, right? We want to give you the practical side of staying here.
Mm-hmm. What it actually means day to day.
Exactly. So let's get right into it. Starting with, probably the biggest thing for any Disneyland trip.
Location, location, location.
You nailed it. It's got to be location. When you're planning Disney, it's not just close. It's got to be strategically close.
Right.
And the Quality Inn & Suites Maingate Anaheim, they seem to really get this. It's right there in Anaheim, yeah. But how it's positioned makes a big difference for your park time.
Uh-huh.
I found it's huge not having to spend ages just getting to the parks.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to make rope drop.
That's a really critical point. It's not just about being nearby. It's the directness to the entrance that people talk about.
Okay.
So guest feedback consistently mentions this, pretty pleasant 15 to 20-minute walk right down Harbor Boulevard.
Right.
And that takes you straight to Disneyland's harbor entrance. Now, why is that a big deal?
Yeah, tell us.
Well, it means you can totally skip the tram system, which can get really crowded.
Oh, yeah.
Saves you time waiting for shuttles, too, and it gives you that flexibility.
Yeah.
If you want to pop back for a midday break, it doesn't feel like this huge production.
Mm-hmm.
And for families, especially with little ones, that steady, predictable walk, that can be a total game changer compared to, waiting for a bus that might be late.
I can definitely vouch for that. After a super long day in the park, just knowing it's a straightforward walk back. Or, even a quick 5-minute Uber or Lyft ride if your feet are really done, it's just reassuring.
Mm-hmm.
And something else I noticed, and others mention this a lot too, is where it sits on harbor. It's just past the main, traffic jam points.
Ah, okay.
So it makes driving in and out surprisingly easy. And it's right off the freeway too, which is a big plus if you're driving into Anaheim.
Right, easy access.
Yeah, and for flyers, it's less than 10 miles from John Wayne Airport. So you can basically start relaxing pretty much as soon as you land, instead of, battling a long drive from the airport.
And that whole picture, thinking about arrival, departure, getting to the park, that's where the real value proposition comes in, I think. It just sets guests up to maximize their park time without all that extra travel friction.
That makes total sense. So how does that play out for, say, trying to get there early for park opening, or for those midday naps that families rely on?
Well, exactly, because you're skipping shuttle lines or, long hikes from distant parking lots. You can physically get to the gates earlier for rope drop when the park's quieter. That's huge.
Definitely.
And for those midday breaks, that 15-minute walk back means less time wasted commuting, more actual rest time.
Yeah.
Which is, invaluable for recharging before you head back for fireworks or whatever.
Yeah.
It really is about using your park time as efficiently as possible.
I can absolutely see why people value that so much. For us, honestly, staying there felt like we'd found a real bargain. Good value for the money, considering everything you get and just how easy it is to get to the magic. All right, so location, nailed it. Easy park access, check. But what about, your actual room, your sanctuary after all that Disney chaos?
Right, the place you actually sleep.
Let's unlock what's waiting inside the rooms at the Quality Inn & Suites Maingate Anaheim. Because, after a day of park hopping, that room needs to feel good.
Okay, so based on our stays and looking at loads of guest feedback, the rooms consistently get good marks. People say they're modernized, clean, and really well kept.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, you walk in and it feels, fresh and comfortable, like they're paying attention to the details, which is just crucial for relaxing. And the beds, this comes up a lot, they're described as new very comfortable with premium bedding. And that's not just like a small thing. It genuinely means you get a good night's sleep, which, let's be honest, is non-negotiable after walking miles around Disneyland.
Oh, totally. My feet are usually screaming by the end of the day. And comfort also means space, right? Especially if you're traveling with family.
Absolutely. The reams are generally described as just right, comfortable. But what's really impressive and a huge plus for families is their family suites. They can fit up to 8 people.
Wow, 8? That's pretty big.
Yeah, great for larger groups or maybe multi-generational trips, that kind of thing.
Huh?
And one specific detail that kept popping up in reviews, which makes total sense when you think about a big group getting ready, is the lots of mirrors comment.
Huh. That's actually smart.
Right. It genuinely makes it easier for multiple people to get ready at the same time. Cuts down on that morning bathroom traffic jam.
That is a clever touch. No more fighting over the mirror.
Exactly. And speaking of thoughtful stuff, the amenities in the room are pretty solid. You've got your coffee maker, essential hair dryer, safe, iron, microwave, fridge.
The basics, yeah.
Right, plus a flat screen TV and air conditioning, of course. But what's interesting is some of the smaller but kind of impactful details, like the fridge, often cold when you arrive.
Oh, nice touch.
Yeah, it's small but welcome after traveling. And in many rooms, the fridge is actually in a separate little area, not right in the bedroom. Gives you a bit more space, less noise.
Okay, I could see that being useful.
And same idea with the bathroom vanity, often separate from the tub and toilet. Adds a bit more privacy, makes it more functional if multiple people are using the space. Plus, they've added touches like granite countertops in the shower and bathroom areas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just for looks. It signals, modern, durable finishes. It helps it feel less like a basic motel, even though it's budget-friendly. Just adds to that feeling of freshness and quality.
I can definitely see how that separation helps. And yeah, we appreciated the granite. It does give it a nicer, cleaner look than you might expect sometimes. Now, one thing that sometimes comes up is, limited outlets for charging all our gadgets these days.
Oh, the eternal struggle.
Right. But the hotel seems to have tackled this. They've added extra outlets right on the desk lamp and on the nightstand, too.
Oh, good thinking.
Yeah, personally, I found that made charging my phone, camera, power bank, all that stuff way easier after a long park day. It's a small thing, but it shows they're actually listening to what guests need.
And that kind of proactive approach, addressing those little pain points, that really speaks to their focus on guest comfort.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of guest comfort and well-being, that definitely extends to how you start your day. Because after all that Disney walking, you need fuel. Serious fuel.
Breakfast is key.
So let's talk about the complimentary breakfast at the Quality Inn and Suites Maingate Anaheim. It's a pretty crucial perk for setting the tone for a long day at the parks.
It absolutely is. Having that free breakfast included, that's a huge value add. Saves time, saves money before you even head out. And the variety is actually pretty decent. It caters to different tastes. You've got hot stuff like waffles, eggs.
Oh, nice. Waffles are always a win.
Right. Plus cold items, cereal, yogurt, fruit, that kind of thing. We saw feedback saying, the whole group was well fed. And importantly for the adults.
Coffee. Please say coffee.
Yes. Chaperones were able to load up on coffee.
Yeah.
So, caffeine needs met.
Phew. That's essential.
It really just helps start the day right,
Yeah.
without the stress or extra cost of finding breakfast somewhere else.
And it's not just the food itself, is it? I personally really liked that they have outdoor furniture, sort of a sun terrace area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it creates this nice little breakfast patio space. You can eat outside, get some fresh air. It's a lovely, kind of unexpected touch, a nice way to ease into the day.
That sounds pleasant.
And beyond breakfast, they've got other handy amenities, too, like a vending machine for late-night snacks.
Always needed.
A shared lounge or a TV area if you just want to chill outside your room. They have pool and beach towels for the outdoor pool. Self-serve laundry, which is a lifesaver on longer trips. Or just refreshing, sweaty park clothes.
Oh, definitely.
And baggage storage, too. Super useful if you arrive early or leave late. Lets you squeeze in more park time without dragging bags around.
Yeah, all those little things just smooth out the experience, don't they?
They really do.
Let's focus more on Disney, less on the boring logistics.
Okay, so we've hit location, rooms, breakfast, and amenities. But what often makes or breaks a hotel stay, the thing that sets it apart.
Have to be the people, the staff.
Exactly. Let's talk about the heart of hospitality here. The staff and the service at the Quality Inn and Suites Maingate Anaheim, because it seems like this is where they really shine.
Yeah, this was really striking in the feedback, just the sheer volume of overwhelmingly positive, comments specifically about the staff.
Like consistently good.
Consistently. Described as friendly, accommodating, helpful, polite, professional, providing great services. Just really positive across the board. But there's one name that comes up again and again and again.
Uh-oh, who's the star?
Alfred.
Alfred. It's one thing to hear staff are friendly, right?
Yeah.
But the amount of specific praise for this guy, Alfred,
Yeah.
like people mentioning him providing a new room key, no charge, that highlights something special, doesn't it?
It really does.
What do you think it is about his approach? People call him awesome, the best dude ever, very welcoming and patient, knowledgeable.
Wow.
Yeah. Making check-in extremely smooth, getting extra towels without hesitation, even steering guests the right way for multiple things in the area. I mean, that kind of consistent, specific, glowing feedback. It speaks volumes.
It really does. It suggests, a genuine commitment that goes beyond just doing the job description.
Mm-hmm.
Alfred, as the prime example here, seems to embody that proactive spirit. He's efficient, but also genuinely warm and helpful. And that personal connection, that can totally transform a good stay into a really memorable one, especially when you're dealing with the, excitement, but also potential stress of a big Disney trip.
Yeah, that friendly face can make all the difference.
And it's not just Alfred, though he gets a lot of mentions. Gabby is another name that popped up for providing great care.
Okay, good.
And we even saw positive comments about the maintenance team fixing a TV quickly. It suggests the whole team is kind of aligned on taking care of guests.
That's great to hear.
And that positive vibe seems to extend to the place itself. Like the outdoor pool guests mention it's clean, people are actually using it.
Right. Adds to the atmosphere.
Yeah, contributes to that welcoming feeling. And it has a fence around it, which is good for safety, especially for families.
It definitely sounds like a place where the people genuinely make you feel welcome, which is exactly what you want after a long day at the parks. Okay, so we've covered a ton today. We've looked at the really strategic location, the comfort and usefulness of the rooms, that essential free breakfast.
Don't forget the coffee.
Never forget the coffee. And the truly outstanding staff who make you feel looked after. So let's try and pull it all together. Answer the big question. Who is the Quality Inn and Suites Maingate Anaheim actually for?
Well, connecting all these pieces, it seems clear this hotel offers a really solid, dependable, and genuinely welcoming base for a Disney trip.
Yeah.
The value isn't just the price tag, right?
Yeah.
It's that combination of convenience, the thoughtful amenities, and that really friendly service.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems ideal for family-friendly vacations, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Trips with friends, maybe colleagues, business travel if you need to be near the convention center, but also Disney.
Weekend getaways.
Yeah, weekend getaways, general vacations where being close to the parks is a top priority.
I think it seems especially good for families, like you said, particularly with younger kids or maybe larger groups.
Right, because of the room sizes.
Exactly. Those spacious rooms, the family suites fitting up to 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal. It really makes it a great choice if you're looking for an affordable hotel that delivers great value.
Right.
You get all the expected stuff, plus those little extras we talked about, the separate vanity, the granite that just make it feel a bit nicer. And crucially, I think it's perfect for people who prioritize easy access to Disneyland, like really easy,
Right.
without being stuck in the middle of the congestion or having to rely only on shuttles.
Yeah.
That predictable 15-20-minute walk straight to the harbor entrance, that's honestly a game changer for managing your park days.
It's a very practical choice, isn't it, for a certain type of traveler who really values efficiency and just a welcoming, straightforward atmosphere.
So what does this all boil down to for your next trip?
Well, if you value a clean, comfortable place to stay, incredible convenience to the parks that actually saves you time, and a really hospitable team that makes you feel genuinely welcomed and supported, then yeah, the Quality Inn and Suites Maingate Anaheim could absolutely be your go-to spot for your next Disneyland visit.
It really seems to hit those key points for a less stressful, more magical experience.
Yeah, I think so. This brings up an interesting question, maybe for everyone listening and planning. When you're thinking about a trip to somewhere as magical as Disneyland, what part of your hotel stay really sets the tone for your adventure?
Ooh, good question.
Is it that super quick, direct walk to the park gates?
Yeah.
Is it knowing there's a really comfy bed waiting for you after a long day? Or is it maybe that friendly, helpful person at the front desk who almost feels like part of the magic themselves?
Yeah.
It's worth thinking about, what makes your perfect Disney base camp?
That is a great question to ponder as you map out your next unforgettable trip. And that wraps up our deep dive into the Quality Inn and Suites Maingate Anaheim.
Hope that's helpful.
Yeah, we really hope this gave you the insights you need to decide if it's right for you. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive into the Disneyland Hotel Diaries podcast.
We'll catch you next time.